I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I think there's too many mobile shooting games nowadays. It seems like every week some new game is announced, and developers are just dropping their games way too quickly. All the games that come out are either some modern day shooter with modern weapons and modern vehicles, or there's some fantasy game where you have magic and special abilities and completely unrealistic things to real life. Don't get me wrong, I love those genres. I love games that come out that look like that, but I would really like to see a World War II mobile game. And I'm not talking about World War Heroes. I'm sorry. That game's not up to par with the games that we have now in 2024. I want new, amazing World War II, Vietnam War, maybe World War I era games. Games like Battlefield 1, but for mobile devices. That game, whenever I see gameplay from it, is absolutely insane. It's so atmospheric, and there's really nothing else like it. There's a reason so many people love that game, and I just would love if something like that was available for us mobile gamers, because I think it would be a massive hit. It's so completely different from everything that we have nowadays. And you guys can feel free to leave your comments, but I think most people are probably in agreement with me. There's way too many games that are too similar nowadays. We want something different. And one development team is setting out to try to do that. In today's video, I would like to show you all a game that you've probably never heard of before, but you need to know about. This is going to be under my radar because it is one of the only games set in World War I that I can even think of for mobile devices. It's called Weltkrieg World War I Firestorm, or Weltkrieg 1 Firestorm, something like that. And you can see already, this is pre-alpha gameplay. It's getting up there. I mean, there's really no other World War I game that we can compare this to, but I think it looks like the gameplay mechanics are pretty good. You have a lot of attention to detail with this flamethrower right here. People actually burn, and it sets the overall scenery on fire, which is crazy. That's very impressive. This is also a first-person shooter, of course, and it's got that dreary, bleak feeling that you would have in a World War I era game. You're not going to have bright colors like Super Mecha Champions. No, that's not something you're going to have in a game like this, and I think a lot of older gamers are really going to appreciate something like this. Let's go take a look at this video right here. This is what it looks like when you are transitioning from the different spawn points. Because yes, this is going to be a game like those Battlefield games where you have different points that you need to capture, and whoever gets the most amount of points before the time runs up wins. It looks very, very cool. And here's like a little snippet of what it looks like when you're actually in first person with your gun. This is from only about 6 days ago, so this is pretty current. And graphics-wise, it's really not that bad. I, of course, would love to see better graphics. You know, it would be amazing if this game had graphics up there with Battlefield 1, but I do realize that there are limitations for mobile devices, so something like that really isn't that realistic. But if you could eventually get up to, Arena Breakout level graphics with a game like this set in World War I, it would be completely on a league of its own, and I think so many people would be excited for something like this. I think what the developer really needs to do for this game is focus much more on the optimization and making the game play as good as possible first. Then, once you do that, then you can eventually start to make the graphics better and better. But a lot of people out there, the people that are watching this video, would care much more about this game actually playing well rather than just having amazing graphics and then it can't even run on most devices. There's the inspections for your different weapons, your reloads. A lot of different weapons in this game already. Everything from your sniper rifles to your shotguns, pistols, assault rifles. Well, are they assault rifles? It's a World War I era game. I don't even know if they're assault rifles. Your character models look pretty good as well. This is your sniper unit, and it's honestly not bad, dude. That's better than a majority of games. I mean, seriously, I don't see any issue with something like this. This is your medic unit in the game, and then you even have your German stormtrooper as well as your German heavy units. So there's a variety of different playable characters already in this game. This is some older gameplay, so it's already been improved since then. But I honestly think this game is really going to try to take Battlefield 1 as an example, I think one comment that we can see here is actually a perfect example of what players want. I hope the sound design is going to be good. Gooey, muddy steps, heavy breathing, and the sound of equipment when moving. Gunshots. Also some screen effects like blood, rain, and mud. And also factions could be good. The sounds of screaming, both pain and satisfaction. Officers whistling and shouting orders, all while artillery explode, men and dirt. And I don't think that's something that's completely unrealistic. Why can't that be added to a game? If most of that is just sound, why can't that be added? That doesn't seem that complicated in my personal opinion. Maybe it is. I don't really know, but I do think that's something that we should have in a game like this if we want it to feel like a true World War I game. We don't want it to be too similar to Call of Duty Mobile. We want it to be completely different, and that is where people are really going to want to play this game because it's different from all the other games that we have out there. I think it could be really cool having planes fly over, you know? The sound of those bombing planes that just dive down and have the really crazy sound. Yeah, I've seen air shows, and those sounds are just awesome. Just awesome. I don't know, man. It's just something like that in a mobile game would just be so cool. And there's not too many videos out there. There's a lot more screenshots that they've posted. I just would like to see a longer video posted on their YouTube channel, ideally. Some like 5-minute long gameplay, 10-minute long gameplay, something like that. Maybe a full match, just so we can get a better idea of what this game is about. Because as of right now, we're seeing little snippets. Maybe this is the best the game has to offer, and maybe it's not going to be up to what we're expecting. But I'm expecting a lot for this game. If this is going to be like the only World War I game, take your time, developers. Don't rush it. You don't have 50 billion other games you need to compete with. So, like, you have it. Just take your time, release it when it's ready, and people will want to play it because it's the only one out there. You have no competition. Obviously, if more and more people know about this, then it is possible that, you know, Tencent might get on board and try to make their own game. But with a game company like that, they have their own plans of, you know, making it a lot more pay to win or other issues like that. So maybe people don't even want to play that game, even if it is better than something like that. I really like how the vehicles already work pretty well in this game. It seems like the vehicle mechanics are pretty decent. I mean, you can literally shoot through the vehicles. You can do a whole bunch of different things. I would love to see an ability to upgrade your vehicles in battle, like if they're damaged. I've seen that in Battlefield 1. Your tank gets pretty damaged. You can't drive it anymore. You need to get out and then repair it in the middle of the battlefield. That would be really cool. And I hope you're going to have a decent amount of people playing together all at one time. This is from 24 weeks ago, so it's a long time ago, right? But they are testing optimization on the low-budget Android platform. So what they do want to make sure is this game is not only for super high-end devices, because that would really suck. The vast majority of people still, whether you like it or not, do not have the most highest-end devices. That's all their Instagram has to offer. There are some more videos on their YouTube. We can take a look at this one right here. This is a video that we already took a look at. I don't really think they've posted much more. Unfortunately, as of right now, and it probably is because it's pre-alpha, there's no need to show that much. You don't want to show, oh, this is something that we haven't seen. This is the, I don't know if this is the sniper rifle, whatever you would call this weapon. It's like some type of marksman rifle or something like that. But, you know, you could probably modify this to put a bigger scope on it if you wanted to make it a longer range weapon. We already took a look at this, right? These are just some more weapon inspections. I believe we did. Yes, we did. But, you know, hey, we can take a look at this once more. I'm going to see if we can find any other gameplay. Here we go. This is it. Multiplayer gameplay. This is what I was wanting to see. That's not bad. That's really not bad. For an alpha version, it doesn't, to me, when I see this, it might not look the best, but it doesn't feel like those really cheap games that you can find on the Google Play Store. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. If you search Call of Duty and then you find those rip-off games, and they just feel like such a bad game. This doesn't feel like that. I want to take a look at this video one more time because this is the only real gameplay that we're seeing so far. The UI looks pretty good. The buttons, I don't know what the P button is, to be fair. I wonder if the developer could clarify us on that. A few things that I do think they should focus on is, you know, maybe only having one map for the very first alpha test. Just perfect that one, make it as good as possible, because you don't want to try and, like, add too much content too early on. You want to focus on the main core mechanics, and that way you're not going to be too overwhelmed as a developer, because I don't know how many people are working on this game. I don't think it's a very big development team, you know? Here's another video. I believe we already saw this on their Instagram, but again, I'm just so shocked. Like, it really doesn't look that bad already for a game in pre-alpha, and I'm just very surprised that more people are not talking about it. It really does feel like a Battlefield 1 mobile, at least on the surface, and I just figure more people would want to talk about this game. I don't really know. But I do just want to take a second here to take a look at their TikTok page, because they do have a few more videos like this one right here. AI-based bots have been added to the game. They will come to replace the player who left the game session to maintain balance in the game. This is a great feature. Maybe people don't like that. They're like, oh, I don't think a game should have bots. But the problem with a game like this is, since matches are so long, people are inevitably going to leave, and you don't want to be stuck at the end where you've been playing for 15 minutes and you can't even finish the match because the entire enemy team has left. This way, bots are added so the match can actually finish, and that's great. Here's in-game destructibility testing by Tanks Mark V A7V. So there's already some destruction, which is pretty cool. I think that is also a must if you want to make your game pretty atmospheric. This is the first test build, and this is from all the way back in March. So this has been a while. So the game probably has been developed quite a bit since that point in time and has gotten a lot better. If it hasn't, they really need to get it in gear because, that's been like 6 months or so. Though, as I said, you don't have to rush it and release something that's not completely polished yet. I like it, though. Honestly, here, what's this one right here? We keep seeing these same videos over and over again. Unfortunately, there's just not very many videos out there. And again, as I said, I really hope the developers just add a few more. I wanted to make this video, though, to show it to you all. I do think it's very important that we all know about this because with a game like this that's completely different from all the other ones that we have nowadays, it should be really cool, and I think the vast majority of you guys would at least be interested in something like this. But yeah, that's about it. This video is a little bit shorter than some of my other ones, but I hope you guys didn't mind. There's not that much to talk about. But I'd love to know, what would you guys like to see in a World War I styled first-person shooter? What are the features you would like to see? Just let me know down below in the comments. I'm sure the developers are probably going to watch this video. I'm sure they're going to take a majority of the comment suggestions to heart. And I just think what the developers should do is take Battlefield 1 as a baseline and try their best to replicate something like that for mobile. Obviously, no copyright issues. Don't directly copy anything, but make a game that feels like that for mobile, and you have a winning game right there. But that's about it. Yeah, I really hope you all did enjoy this video. If you did, please take a second and leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next episode.